What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. Now, it's been 2 months already since we finally saw the announcement of Uncharted 4. Unfortunately, we haven't heard anything from the game anymore afterwards. That's a shame. Hopefully we'll hear something about the game very soon. You know, if not, then we just gotta wait for a few more months till we finally see something of the game. But, I mean, it does leave, you know, in the meantime, it does leave us with some time to really discuss our opinions, you know, about the previous games and what we would like to see in the next game. So that's pretty much what I'll be doing today. I got the request from quite a few people to just tell you about what I think Uncharted 4 should be like, you know, what it can learn from, you know, from the previous Uncharted games 1 till 3, in terms of both the single player and the multiplayer. So that's what I'll be doing. Today will be about the single player campaign, with next week hopefully sort of like a similar video about the multiplayer. Now, first of all, yes, you're actually looking at Uncharted gameplay here in the background. Thought I'd, you know, hook up my Elgato device to my, you know, PS3 again, because of course, I mean, it is the relevant gameplay to show when you talk about a topic like this. Now, I picked some of my favorite parts from Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, so yeah, that's pretty much what you're looking at in the background here. Now, there's 2 parts of the wish list for Uncharted 4. I could talk about the stuff that previous Uncharted games haven't really done yet, that I hope Uncharted 4 does, and of course, there's the stuff that you can kind of like look back on from previous games and then compare them and pretty much share you know, what I think it can learn from, what I think it can do better when you look at the previous games. So let's first start with the new stuff. Now, the story. I hope that the story won't be too similar to Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 1, where they are, for example, going after a lost city and the treasure again. I mean, I get it. Like, the franchise is called Uncharted. It's about going to these locations that mankind has never really seen. That's what the whole Uncharted, you know, name is about actually already. So, of course, the new Uncharted should be about that, but I thought that Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 kind of had a similar story, where they were going for this, or they were going after this treasure, which was located in the lost city, you know. Yeah, like I said, I just don't want Uncharted 4 to follow that same pattern. I think that what we've seen from Uncharted 4 right now with this guy, this old friend from Drake, most likely, if that's what everybody thinks it is, if that's actually the truth, that this guy is pretty much, you know, hunting Nate through the whole game because Nate kind of like left him to rot in the past in a prison or something like that, and then, you know, he's all about going after Drake in the whole game. I think that's a very, very promising plot, and I just can't wait to see what they will be doing with that. I think it also leaves the possibility for the game to really once again bring to light the whole aspect of Nathan Drake's name. You know, we came to know in Uncharted 3 that Nathan Drake isn't his actual name, that he made that up. His first name most likely is Nathan, but then you know, he isn't really a descendant of Drake at all, most likely. You know, that's what Marlowe kind of like told Drake, and he surely wasn't denying that. You know, I hope they kind of like go into that with this game again. Now, the second and last thing about, you know, the things I think that Uncharted 4 could do in terms of new stuff. People have been talking about it having to be, for example, an open world game. How awesome would that be if the new Uncharted would actually be a completely different game from the other ones, you know, being an open world game or whatever. Me personally, I just hope that it will once again be a, you know, normal third-person action adventure game, very linear, just like the previous Uncharted games. I honestly don't think it needs that. This is just what Uncharted is, and I'm fine with that because I love those real experiences. You know, those are the games that I enjoy the most. And I mean, Uncharted has been my favorite franchise so far, so why would I want that to change? Not saying that the game shouldn't be innovating, of course it should be, but I mean, to be a completely different genre, I don't agree with that. I just want it to be, you know, what we can expect from the game. So let's talk about the stuff that we saw in the previous Uncharted games already, and that I think Uncharted 4 can really learn from. I mean, it's not a secret, I liked Uncharted 2 the most out of the whole franchise, and don't get me wrong, I still think that Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 1 were great games, of course. I mean, it's the whole franchise that I really like, but I've been thinking about this so many times. What was it exactly that made Uncharted 2 my favorite game, you know, of the whole collection? It's especially, of course, in terms of the single player. And I think the biggest part of that is that Uncharted 2 felt like one big journey, where Uncharted 3 didn't really feel like that. I mean, this whole I've said it before in a video, I think, but this whole thing and the whole campaign in Uncharted 2 was all in one go. You know, when you were in Nepal, pretty much, you just went in one go to the final location, which was Shambhala. It went all, like, you went from Nepal to what was it? You had the whole train part to Tibet to Shambhala. It was all, you know, without any breaks in between. Where in Uncharted 3, it was really about the set pieces that they had in mind, and they had just completely different locations all the time. Where it was like, oh, Drake is now going to France, he's now going to Syria, or now to Yemen. It just didn't make sense in my eyes, and that's what I felt through the whole game. Like, yeah, I mean, sure, it's awesome that he's going, you know, that this plane is crashing. That's awesome that he's falling out of it and surviving. How awesome is that? What a great set piece, but it didn't make sense, you know. And him going to that cruise ship to find Sully, who has supposedly been kidnapped, while we all knew that that wasn't the case, that this pirate guy, I can't remember the name now, but what a shame, but you know, it was such a, it wasn't, you know, a surprise at all that he was lying there. And I think Uncharted 2 did this much better, that it all seemed to fit well together. It all, yeah, like I said, seemed much more fitting. I really like that about the Uncharted 2 campaign. The graphical style, I think, is also something that Uncharted 2 did much better. And I still don't really know why that is, but when you compare Uncharted 2 with Uncharted 3, you just see that the graphics on Uncharted 2 look much more realistic, and Uncharted 3 almost has a sort of like cartoony, like some cartoony elements to it. And you know, it's the face models that look a bit less realistic. It's the whole environments that look less realistic, but more with this cartoony, yeah, style over it. When, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that the game looks bad. Uncharted 3 probably looks better than Uncharted 2 does, but the style is just much different, and I don't get that at all. Look at the guns, and just compare the AK in Uncharted 2 with the AK in Uncharted 3, and for some reason the Uncharted 2 AK is perfectly fine, but then when you look at the one in Uncharted 3, it's almost like it's made out of plastic. I mean, that's all what I'm seeing. Just you know, look at the gameplay here when I'm shooting enemies with my weapons. Compare those weapons with you know, with the previous games, and it feels like it's all so fake or something. I don't really know what it is, and I hope you agree with me on that. I also thought that, for example, the textures in Uncharted 3 looked like a lot lower res quality or something, like they had a lower resolution, and I think that's because of the 3D things they implemented into the game. It could be about that, you know, because of that, but you know, to this date I still don't really know why they decided to go for this different style, because I thought that the style in Uncharted 1 and 2 was much better, and you know, I hope they do that as well for the next Uncharted.
All right. We should be safe in here.
Get it off! Get off! All right, you're clear.
Huh?
How about me?
Yeah, turn around. Oh, you're good. You okay?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's not go back in there.
I think that's a good idea.
In terms of the characters, it's not a surprise that I never was a fan of Marlowe and of Talbot. I thought they were really weak characters with no background story at all, and just not fitting all in all. Where Lazarevich, Eddie Raja, Harry Flynn were these great characters that were both funny, frightening, yeah, all of that together, and I thought that was just great about it. And this character now, like I said, you know, that's hunting Drake. From what we've seen so far, looks like it's very promising, so I can't wait to see where they are going with it exactly. I think that set pieces definitely are important. When you look at Drake falling out of that plane in Uncharted 3, or the cruise ship, or the burning chateau, those moments were awesome, and I'm definitely not saying that I don't want those moments to be in the next Uncharted, but I think Uncharted 2 proved that you don't need set pieces like that for the game to still be good. And it had the train, and it had the car scene where Drake was jumping from car to car, you know, fighting enemies, which was awesome. But it didn't really do this over-the-top thing that Uncharted 3 really, you know, put their essence on. And I think that if they just create these set pieces in, for example, Madagascar or something, where they are, you know, looking to be going at least. When you look at the temples in Uncharted 2, you know, the whole village of Tibet, the ice caves, Nepal with its awesome yeah, temples, like I said, that was just so beautifully made, and I just hope that the next Uncharted will do that as well. You know, that it will once again show off these great environments. And in terms of set pieces, it doesn't really have to be all that epic, as long as the game just looks amazing and it feels like you're on this this actual adventure. It feels like you're traveling around the world, but in a video game. You know, graphically, once again, I talked about this in a previous video. I can't wait to see where they are going, because with the PlayStation 4, with the new hardware, it's bound to look incredible. And I can't wait to see the first real gameplay from the game, which I would say we'll probably see at E3 this year, but hey, hopefully sooner already. Just how amazing Uncharted 4 has to look, I can't wait to see it. So that was kind of my wish list for Uncharted 4. I hope you agree with me on most parts, especially that graphical style, you know, Uncharted 3 feeling slightly more cartoony or something. Let me know if you agree with me on that, because, you know, I definitely think that's one of those things where I just want to know what you think about that for sure. And then next week, of course, I will be talking about the multiplayer mode, also one of the important things about the next Uncharted game. Hopefully you'll once again check the video out then, but for now I just want to thank you a lot for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.